Alright, welcome everyone. I hope you're all having a great day, wherever or whenever you happen to be. And thank you for the cat jams, Doge. We all love cat jam. But yes, today we are doing something very exciting. We are making tier lists. Everyone loves tier lists, right? I thought I would have a little bit of a discussion about Labrys' moves, just so that I have this all recorded somewhere and I can point people towards it. Because she is very deceptive in making you think that she has an actual strong kit, and all of her moves are interesting, shall we say. I haven't really got a big plan for this like my other tier list streams. It's more of a stream of thought type thing. So yeah, if you're here, feel free to join in. I realize I'm a little bit early for the NA crew, so it'll probably just be me talking to myself for the most part. My good friend Doge as well, whenever he feels like it. Hello. But yeah, we'll go from there. So what I'm going to do... Oh, an Alias. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again so soon. What I will do is I will switch out the BGM for something that isn't going to repeat quite as much. Which is this. You don't like these moves? Put them in F tier. Well, I think the first thing we're going to do is, like my other streams, I'm going to rename this because letters mean nothing. And I think it's ridiculous to make tier lists with just letters, because what does that even mean, right? Like some arbitrary scale. So we're going to do that first. Brutal Impact is top tier. We will get to that eventually. I put them in rough order of neutrals into specials, into supers, and into system mechanics. This will be for normal Labrys. Labrys is not worth talking about. Really, the only change she has is just worse damage and the old auto combo, which is worse in a lot of ways. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. So on these tiers, I have prepared what I think I want to change them to. I am going to put the top tier as best in class. So effectively, the way I'm going to talk about these moves is relative to what most other characters have in terms of moves that work in the same way. So for example, what air-to-airs do they have? What is their normal anti-air move? So like a best-in-class air-to-ground would be a jump C from Adachi, for example. Something that you don't really think, well, I wish I had someone else's move instead of this. You basically have no real reason to want something better or a buff to your move. That is a best-in-class move. Jump B, my beloved. I wonder if it goes in there. We will get to that soon. But Jump B does a lot of good things. I won't mince words. I won't turn anyone away. It is a good move. It's definitely not going to be average or below average. But yeah, next tier will be strong, which is my move is very good, but it isn't the best out there. I would be happy switching it for a move that might be slightly better from someone else's kit, but it definitely does the job well, and there's nothing to complain about. And I do like using this move a lot. That is the strong tier. The next one I'm just going to call average, which is, yeah, this move makes sense for what we do. How are we comparing Jump BB and Jump 2B? I do have two moves here. You can't see my mouse. That's very annoying. But where are they? They are different for Labrys. They're very different for Labrys. I think this one is Jump 2B, the one that I'm shaking right now. And the next one is... Where did I put it? It was this one. I called this one Jump BB. Jump BB sucks. Jump 2B sucks slightly less. Yeah, well, Jump 2B is not great, but it's fine. Jump BB is abysmal. But we'll get to the tiers. But yes, I do have both of these moves here. I wish it had labels. It doesn't, but it will be made clear which one is which once we get to putting them into the tiers. But anyway, let's keep going. So yeah, average tier I think is just fine. You thought Jump 2B was just a manual version of Jump BB? No. These are very different moves for Labrys, which I will get to the reasons why. But yeah, Jump BB is accessed by pressing B after Jump B, after it lands. Jump 2B can only be accessed directly, not after Jump B even, which is one of the problems with it. But yeah, we'll get to it. Tier below average, because I think average is sensible, is just weak, which is this move has a lot of flaws, but you know, you have to use it. I think it makes sense to have, but you know, I wish it was stronger. I think it's worse than most of what the other characters have. And we'll end for D for disaster, which is, this move is awful. Why did they even program it like this? Please. Which is, we have a few of those for Labrys. Not too many, honestly, but they exist. And this is why I've called it in D tier. So hopefully that all makes sense. Just before we dive into it, I just wanted to get your opinions. Is the audio balance okay? Can you hear the music? Is it too overpowering? Would you like it higher or lower? And also, would you like full screen? Or do you prefer having all of the other stuff around it? Any opinions are valuable. Full screen or back to normal? I sit here regardless. We like full screen. Any other opinions? I do think full screen is nice when we don't have gameplay. The reason I have the other screen is mostly because the bitrate goes very badly if you have games like Persona on the screen, so it's nice to keep them in a corner to save the bitrate and have some of the screen as sensible. I mean, it seems like your opinion is the only opinion at the moment, Alias, so we might keep it on this one for the moment. Yeah, alright then. I guess we'll chill in full screen. You get slightly more view. Alright, so we are going to start. Okay, so first things first. Are you agree, Valerius? Very nice. Then we'll keep it as is. So when it comes to A button, so that's 2A here, 5A here, 5AA here, 5AAA here. It's important to take these as a kit because what you can do and what you do with them really varies based on, like, if you have a slow 5A, do you have a fast 2A? Or do you have something that has the right range for it? Can you go from 2A to 5A or 5A to 2A? How does it link into your other moves? It's important to take them as a kit. So while some are stronger than others, they do kind of work together. I'll start in the order that I put them in. So 2A for Labrys is a 7 frame move. It's not terrible in terms of frame data. I mean, 7 is bad for a 2A, but you know, on the slower characters, it's generally understandable. The issue is that it has barely any range. It's quite low range for a 2A. It's not an axe move, and it doesn't link into 5A like pretty much the entire rest of the cast. So it's like, it's okay. It's like bordering on weak, but I don't want to call it weak because, you know, it is functional. It's not like, I can't see any major changes I'd made to it. Like maybe I'd make it 6 frames, but being 1 frame off, it's technically an axe move. No, it isn't. In terms of the axe mechanic is what I'm referring to. You are using the butt of the axe, but it does not fatal. It does not gain the damage from the axe bonus from Labrys' axe mechanic, which is why I call it not an axe move. So yeah, I don't think it's awful. I wouldn't call it a weak 2A, but it is not a good 2A. So I put it in average. It's fine. Ah, you're joking. Excellent. Excellent. But yes, I feel like it might go in weak just because it doesn't link into 5A, which is really, really bad. Like 95% of the cast can go 2A, 5A. And there's really no reason why she can't. It doesn't link into anything. In fact, I'm managing to talk myself out of putting it in average. It is just really weak for a 2A. I will know when you're being serious. Wow. But the low, yes, it is a low 2A. But I think there's only like 1 or 2 2As which aren't those, which is like Adachi. Who else doesn't have a low 2A? But yeah, it's just kind of bad frame data. You can't, it's hard to cancel out of it. You can't cancel into it. Akihiko, yeah, fair enough. But Akihiko's is 5 frames. Labrys is 7, which is slow for a 2A. But all it basically does is be a low jab. It can cancel into itself, but that's kind of the minimum. Like pretty much there's only 1 or 2 that can't, which is Margaret. But yeah, I mean, it's nice that it is low. Maybe that pushes it into average, but I don't know. It's just so bad in every other way. Maybe average. Maybe average. Because yeah, maybe Adachi's I'd put. Well, I think Adachi's maybe I put as a disaster, but his does cancel into 5A. Yeah, I don't know. I'll hover it here. I'll see how I feel when I go through the other moves. So we go to 5A. I definitely don't think 5A is weak. It's certainly not best in class, and actually like bordering on strong. Like it is a good 5A for its speed. Like, you're saying it's bad in comparison, but it's still usable. Yeah, I think so. But I mean, everything's usable when you need to use it, right? But yeah, I think 5A it's somewhere around here. Like, it's a good 5A. It has a lot of reach for being 7 frames. It is one of Labrys's better neutral moves. Not that that's saying much, but it is one of her better neutral moves. It is an axe move. It confirms into quite a lot of damage if you have the right conditions. Yeah, it has a lot of good things going for it. It has a lot of bad things as well. Like, it has a lot less vertical range than some of the other 5As in the game, so you will get hit above while you press 5A, which is a bit of a pain when you won't on some other characters. I think it also has a very long recovery. Like, of the long range 5As, for example, Liz's and like mid-series, the recovery is very long. So if you whiff this, you're in big trouble. It kind of takes away from, like, I would say it would be near best in class. So like an example of best in class for a 5A, I think would be Liz. Because yeah, it is strong, pretty much stronger than Labrys is in every way. And an example of like a stronger 5A than Labrys is Teddy's. Not comparing to mid-series 5A. Well, yeah, mid-series 5A is also chest, so it changes things a bit. But I mean, in the classes of long-range 5As, which Labrys sits in, you kind of have to compare it. Yosuke 5A, like I said, you have to take A moves in terms of their kit. And good to see you, by the way, Luke. Nice having you here. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, so like the people with good stagger kits, like Yosuke, like Narukami, like Chie, I mean, they don't have long-range 5As, so it's like they don't exist in the same class. But yeah, I mean, I would call Yosuke's 5A probably best in class, just because of the stagger 5As. His is incredibly good. It works really good with his dash slide. But yeah, I think Labrys is strong. It's just not amazing. It's not best in class for the sort of like mid to long range 5As, just because of that recovery, because of the lack of upwards reach. Thank God it's part of an auto combo. Yeah, and actually, fun fact, before 2.5, the auto combo didn't work really at all if they're above the ground. I mean, it did a little bit, but it confirms better now. It still drops quite a lot, but it is at least better. But yeah, that's pretty much the minimum you'd want from a 5A. It's not the best at auto-confirming. You still have to jump cancel quite quickly sometimes, but it's alright. It jump cancels nicely. I wish 5A jump cancelled, but only 5A does. But yeah, it's a nice move. It's an important part of her kit. And it can surprise people. It can catch back dashes if people aren't careful. It's solid. So I do like it. I'm happy to leave it in strong for now. But then we move into 5AA. Now this move is kind of where everything falls down. Weirdly, it's kind of also where the 5A falls down, which is it doesn't block string into anything if it gets instant blocked. Hey Crimson, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, 5AA for Labrys. It doesn't cancel into anything else. I wonder what 5As would be considered weak. It's a good question. Just looking through now. I think Yukiko's has a long range, but it is very slow if I remember correctly. Yeah, Yukiko's is 10 frames, which is very slow. She does have a decent 2A at 7, but it doesn't go that far, and it doesn't work very well with her kit. So I'd probably call hers weak. Who else would I call has a weak 5A? Akihiko, I think there's no real need for its 5A, but yeah, it's 10 frames. It is a very slow 5A. Yeah, it probably just would be that, I think. I mean, 5A is a pretty inoffensive move. It's hard to get it wrong and it's very basic, so that's probably why we can't think of that many weak or disastrous 5As. But anyway, going back to 5AA here, it has awful frame data. I believe it's -6. In fact, I'm going to get the Labrys page up just so that I'm not telling lies. Which is one of the worst 5AAs in the game, especially for it not being jump cancelable, not being able to cancel into 2A like some characters. It can't even cancel into any of her other moves apart from 5AAA without, if it gets instant blocked, and it's one of the easier instant blocks because it's a mid. Yeah, it's just kind of a disaster, almost. But I mean, it works. It confirms well if it manages to land. It can be used as a frame trap, and it does lead into frame traps if someone's spamming instant blocks. It's bordering on a disaster because it really shouldn't be -6. And the fact that your pressure ends there if you get instant blocked is really, really bad. But, you know, it's functional. And there are other moves which are worse, which is why I'm leaving the disaster tier alone at the moment. But yeah, not good. Really not good. Better than Shadows for the most part, because it does actually cancel into things. But yeah, not really doing what you want it to. Yeah, I don't like it very much. So it goes in the weak tier. Very sad. Anyway, we will continue on into this, which is 5AAA, the third auto combo hit. It's okay. Which one is this? So yeah, this is the final of the auto combo. Which one? The one we were just talking about, the second hit of the auto combo. This is the final hit of the auto combo, which is the giant spinny move that Labrys does. It does the job. It's basically, it's not great in pressure. I mean, so there's three ways to consider moves, right? There's in neutral, in pressure, and in combo. For the most part, I'll leave combo alone because, I mean, moves as combo tools, they're just moves. And this, again, is kind of just a combo tool. You can use it in pressure. It doesn't lead into anything apart from 214A. You can sweep off of it in this version. It's not good mix, but it is mix, I guess. It does have a gap if you do that. I mean, but that's kind of like the entirety of Labrys's kit. So, I mean, it does its job. And if you can go into it off of like Ken's dog or off a persona somehow, it can do stuff. 5 AAA into air guillotine. I mean, you can do it. It's an awful thing to do, but it can work if you have OMC meter. It's the third hit of an auto combo. Yes, that's a good description of it. That's what it does. So yeah, that's that. I don't think there's really much to say about it. It does its job. It prorates really badly, and it doesn't combo at all if you have any proration. Are Labrys' moves here? No, because Labrys isn't a character, pretty much. I mean, one thing that is from Labrys actually is, do I have it here? I have it here somewhere, I'm pretty sure. Here it is. So this is the third hit of Labrys' auto combo, which is the old auto combo for Labrys. I have it here as the guard cancel because it's the same. It's the same sprite. But yeah, I mean, Labrys' auto combo is basically worse. It is -1 on 5AA, but her 5AA doesn't cancel into anything, so it's basically not a thing. If you're in the third hit of an auto combo, you're probably safe. You'd think, but on Labrys, you're basically not. If you try and do anything apart from a guillotine, you have a massive gap, and even that's a mid into a high. So it's not amazing, and that mid into a high also isn't a block string on instant block. So you don't really want to be seeing this when you're in pressure. Oh, as the opponent, yes. Yeah, you're pretty happy if you've got to this point as an opponent. But yeah, also it confirms really badly. For some reason, if you have any proration in the combo, this part of the auto combo causes a drop. It's very sad. So it's really bad in terms of combo. Anyway, I think because it's basically just a combo move, I'm going to leave it here. And yeah, if you can somehow get to it against the puppets or against the dog, it's pretty funny. It's pretty hard to deal with because he just starts flying across the screen towards the opponent. not being able to combo into auto combo is sad. Yeah. If you have any proration, the auto combo doesn't work. So you don't get the auto combo bonus at the end of combos. It's pretty bad. But I mean, it's Labrys. we do what we can. It probably should be weak, but I think it does enough of its job, and Labrys has a decent enough combo kit that I'm not worried about it. I'm not even sure how I would buff it, to be honest. Like, maybe give it some more hit stun in combo so you can actually auto combo, but yeah, I'm talking myself out of average and into weak. It isn't good. It isn't good, but it isn't bad. I will leave it where it is for now. Maybe we'll have a think about it later. Which moves us into 5B. Now, for Labrys players, this isn't the same move as you see on Labrys. Labrys has a 13 frame version of this move. This is 15 frames, which is not good. So in terms of 5Bs, like, this is not a good 5B for neutral. It has a lot of recovery. It doesn't really cover much ground, and if you do hit a tip of 5B, you're not confirming it into anything. Yeah, it's a very good Labrys move. It's not a good Labrys move, unfortunately. Is it combining the charged versions? It's a good question. I hadn't thought about the charged versions, because they're not really moves you use in neutral or in pressure. You can try it in pressure against anyone with decent reaction times like yourself, Luke, or any of the younger players. You're going to get killed for attempting to charge it. I think the minimum charge time is 36 frames. So if your opponent's not reacting to 36 frames or mashing something, if you leave them alone for 36 frames while you're pressuring them, then you've done a very good job at conditioning. But I don't think it happens very often. Fully charged just doesn't exist because that takes 2 whole seconds. So if your opponent does nothing for 2 seconds and doesn't react to the screen going a different color and the giant exclamation marks, then congratulations, you have broken your opponent's mental. But yeah, it's not worth considering. And also, that move does prorate really badly. You'd get barely any combo from it because it's an unblockable move. But yeah, I think 5B is not good for a 5B. You're not going to confirm off of it unless you get a full counter hit, and even then, the full counter hit combo doesn't work at full range. The only good part is range, yes, but it doesn't have that good of a range for how slow it is. For 15 frames, you have to be beating most characters 5Cs, and this character is not beating most characters 5Cs. This 5B is not beating most 5Cs. So I think it's weak for what it is, especially in neutral. You're not just going to run up 5B because you're not even going to be able to confirm that. And even if you did, the range you get from Labrys' dash slide. At least it's backdash cancelable, so in pressure it's decent. It leads into a lot of different things. I mean, backdash cancelable is fine, but it is minus on backdash cancel. It is -3. Which isn't terrible given that you've made space, but you have nothing in that range that will outspeed any other character in the game if they just run up 5C. It is nice to have, and it's better than what Labrys has in terms of backdash cancel, but it's not a good 5B. It's not like a best in class to a 5B I'd probably give to Naoto, I think. Like a strong one, maybe Yosuke, Narukami. It's decent, but it just doesn't... You don't really see anyone pressing it in neutral. And there's a reason you don't see anyone pressing it in neutral. It's good for baiting up mashing if you backdash cancel. I mean, yeah, so it baits DPs, it baits guard cancels sometimes. It baits bursts if you're feeling especially fancy. It's a hard call out if you do that, but yeah, it's okay. So yeah, in pressure and in combo it's okay. In neutral it's pretty much useless. So maybe given those 2 other uses, maybe I do move it up. I think at least at the back of the average tier. Like it's very close to being weak. But yeah, it is decent. It does a lot of damage in combo as well. You can only use it once. It has an SMP value of 1000, which is the highest you can possibly give to a normal. Basically saying if you do this twice in a combo, the combo is over, which sucks as well. I get why they did it. A lot of her old combos were just her spamming 5B as much as you could, but now we just do it with sweep instead. Yeah, it's not good. Maybe top of week, and then we think about it. Yeah, that's 5B, which brings us to the other B button, 2B. I'm gonna have a little bit of a drink before I do 2B, because I've been speaking a lot. Hope you enjoy Midnight Trip, the song. But yeah, Labrys 2B is interesting. It used to be very good. In vanilla, it had 20 frames of recovery, and then they nerfed it to 26 frames. And it's rare that you nerf a move by 6 frames, but that's what they did. A launcher and an anti-air? I mean, that's pretty standard for a 2B. I know that shows 2B isn't a very good launcher and is tough on an anti-air to confirm off of. But Labrys is okay. It's extremely slow. It is 17 frames, which is one of the slowest in the game. The head invuln on it is also slow at 8 frames instead of the 7 or faster than most of the characters in the game. It steps her forward, which gives her more horizontal range, but it also means it doesn't cover the area above or behind her, which is neither here nor there really. As a punish, it's great, but as an anti-air, you can't really guarantee a counter hit, and like the damage is pretty low on counter hit relative to most characters, just because you're not going into 5D. In most situations, you are just gonna have to jump cancel. Like, it's okay. As an anti-air, it's not great. I would like a lot more from it. But I mean, it's functional. It does cover some area. In pressure, it has some very niche uses as well. And it does jump cancel into some stuff. And it is the starting move of the Touch of Death. So if it didn't do all of that, maybe I'd give it weak as a neutral tool, but given it does everything else, maybe just edges it into average. Like, it works. It doesn't work well, but it works. I wouldn't say it's like terrible. Is it not my punish tool? It is my punish tool, but it is a very slow punish tool. Like, it is still 17 frames, so someone has to be minus 17 or worse for you to manage to punish someone with this. And they have to be directly in front of you, somewhat close to the ground, otherwise the punish doesn't work. It's very picky. And even if you're too close to the corner, actually, it sometimes causes drops. Although that's 5D's fault, that's not 2B's fault. So, like, yeah, it does decently. It's not the best punish starter in the game, but it is good. But that's mostly just because it has 0 P1 like most 2Bs. That's not special. That is just how Labrys' combo routing works. So I think it's fine. I don't think it's amazing. I think it's fine. But yeah, that's 2B. So I will move on to Sweep. Sweep is an interesting one. I don't think it's terrible, but it is extremely slow for what it does. It is one of the slowest sweeps in the game. So for example, you'd think Kanji Sweep, which is a massive jumping attack that hits from really far away, would be slower than this. But no, that's 13 frames and this is 15. A lot of Labrys' stuff ends up being 15 frames, which means that, so it's decent in that it moves you forward. So you can get under some chest attribute things. And it's the same with most sweeps, where it's chest invuln from frame 4, I think. Yeah, 4 to 17, which is decent. The issue is, as well, it doesn't low profile. You can see where her head is. It's like quite high up, so you don't slide under most things, unfortunately. So it's really slow. It doesn't get you under things. It doesn't confirm particularly well if you do hit it on the tip. It doesn't confirm into anything, actually, meterless. It's just kind of bad for a sweep. If you run up sweep and neutral, you're losing to most things unless you pressed it really early. So it will lose to most 5Cs. It will lose to pretty much every air normal. But I mean, most sweeps do that. So it's not good. In combo, it's fine. It does good damage relative to its proration. It is kind of hard to confirm off of. You need 5D to help you most of the time. In pressure, it's okay. It's -6. That's pretty normal for a sweep. So it is punishable by most characters if you do nothing. Your basically only cancel option is into guillotine. Into a guillotine, it's gapless. Into anything else, it is not gapless. It's okay, but it's just, there's so many ways in which I think it could be better and buffed without making it broken. So I would keep it in top of weak tier for now. I think it's meh. I do not like it. You don't see many people sweeping in neutral for this reason, unless you're forced to by someone like a Junpei spamming 5C, or a Mitsuru, or a Sho who's using 5A after his throws. You don't see much of this, and even if you do, you'll get a single hit and then you have to pray that you hit and do a spike, or just don't do a spike. Not you? Yeah. I definitely wouldn't be spamming sweep after your throws. But anyway. That is sweep. I think it's weak-ish, which takes us on to the first of the persona moves. Labrys' persona moves are interesting, and I was thinking about this one. I was playing Tost actually earlier today, who is a Junpei player, and Junpei 5C is pretty godlike for multiple reasons. Labrys 5C is interesting because the persona spawns behind her, and the move takes at least 31 frames to come out, which makes it really unsafe to even press. You die most of the time. If someone sends something into you, you get hit instead of the persona, which you generally don't want because you also lose the persona card. It takes forever to even come out, which is 31 frames, then it takes another 4 frames to even reach its full range. It's just kind of bad. It's one of the only 5Cs in the game where if you press it into someone's instant kill, you will die. That is just how slow it is. I think the full 5C takes 116 frames. So yeah, it's one of the only instant killable 5Cs in the game. In fact, maybe even on reaction. I imagine you might be able to instant kill this move. Which is crazy to think about, but it is possible. It is also chest attribute and projectile attribute. I didn't think it needed to be both. I think it probably could be like, you could change it to be like Liz's, where it's both projectile and strike, just so that it can destroy things it needs to destroy, but no, it is just a projectile. And it's chest, so I get why it's chest, otherwise it might be difficult to deal with, but given how slow it is, it means that it basically can't be used as a pressure tool against someone who's ready with a sweep. It's just bad. I use in neutral, it's fine, it controls an area. I'm not entirely sure what else I would consider to be in the same class as 5C. Can it beat Sho AoA? I think you showed me that it can't, but yeah, it's interesting because there's not many moves like it. It's basically a roll punish in itself, while also being a pressure tool, even though it's kind of bad at both. Like sometimes you can roll through it and be safe and punish. But yeah, it just does so many things badly. Like the persona's behind Labrys. It's not a strike. It's incredibly slow. It doesn't keep her above her safe, and it doesn't really threaten the big area in front of her. Is it plus? If you do nothing, no, it's -3. So no, it's not good. If you just do nothing after it, but it's rare that you do nothing after it. Interestingly enough, it can only be cancelled into most things on its return journey as well. So like you can't do 5C sweep until it comes back. But yeah, it's pretty awful. Like I would call it a disaster, but we're about to go into the actual disaster. And I will explain why. So like it's usable. I use it in neutral because I have to. It can be used to break other projectiles. It's relatively high projectile level. So it can be used, but it's really quite bad. and it will get you killed if anyone jumps over it. If they have the right angle, it can mess with people's jumps. It goes deceptively high and it lasts for a very long time, but it does a lot of time. It's basically spending a lot of time doing nothing. Yeah, it's not amazing, but it does enough that I will use it in neutral because I have to. Because Labrys doesn't really have much else in that mid-range. Like we've discussed, she has a 5B, but you don't want to be pressing it. She has a 5A, but you have to pair it with her ground move speed, which isn't great. And the rest of it's aerials, which are more committal. So that's why you'll see me press 5C, but I wish I had something better to press. So like a best in class, I would call something like Yosuke's, where it pretty much goes as far as Labrys' 5C, especially with a dash. And even if you roll Yosuke 5C, it's pretty much always his turn anyway, given the recovery on that. So that's an example of a best in class for that. But yeah, it's not good, Labrys 5C. But anyway, that's enough of that. That's enough dooming. We need to go to the mega dooming, which is Labrys 2C, which is our first disaster. So there is a reason you see people only use this in combo, because it is worthless. Like it's 28 frames. It is not air unblockable. It's a mid. It doesn't confirm properly at most ranges. You never quite know how many hits it's going to land. Even though it looks like it hits into the ground, it doesn't. What does it even do? I don't know. That's the problem. It's combo fodder, effectively. It can combo into 5D if the opponent is perfect and isn't one of the characters who is immune to getting hit by 2C, which is about half the cast. If you counter hit someone, it really depends which hit, because there's actually 3 hits of this. It depends which hit you hit with and how high they were, if you can even get a combo, and even if you do, it's tough to combo out of. It's technically, so it's -2 as well on block. It does have a dash cancel, which is +1. But if you're dash cancelling into someone as Labrys, if you've hit them with 2C, that means you're right in their face. And what's someone gonna do when you dash cancel into their face? They're gonna press 5A, or they're going to grab you, or they're gonna DP. And 2C ain't what it used to be. It was always bad, at least on Labrys. Good to see you, Killer Kitty. On Chabrys, it's amazing. But well, they switched 8C and 2C, but yeah, on Labrys it is pretty abysmal. There's a reason we don't use it. Used to be a good combo tool. I mean, it was better. So yeah, SMP stuff changed, and I think you could do stuff with like 5A repeating into 2C into DP. But yeah, all of the routing changed, and now it's worthless at pretty much everything apart from fatal combos. And again, only on some characters, because for some reason it doesn't hit people lying on the ground. I don't know why, it just doesn't. You'd think the arrow pointing into the ground would, but no. It has a dead zone right in front of it. Move is awful. But yeah, that is an absolute disaster. I don't think it has any redeeming qualities. There are some cases where you might want to do it, like people floating above your head for extremely long periods of time. But even then, you just really want to jump up and jump see them to actually get a confirm and a knockdown. But yeah. Oh, hi B4, good to see you. But yeah, we are in the middle of our tier list discussion. We have just discussed our first disaster of 2C. But yeah, it's awful. Nothing more to say about that. But we do have some good news, which is that the next thing that we're going to look at is our newly buffed Jump A. So Jump A is an interesting move. It used to be 11 frames, at which point it was pretty useless. It has now been buffed to 9. It's quite nice. It's not amazing. Most characters have something faster in their arsenal, which has more range. So going air to air, it's rare that you win with a Jump A. But sometimes you have to, right? Like you play Labrys to outplay your opponent, so you can preemptive Jump A, and there's quite low risk to it as well. It recovers very quickly. you can effectively rising jump A with no penalty and then dash in as if you didn't do it. And that covers a lot of good things that the opponent can do. It breaks stuff. It is also part of the fuzzy setup that she has now. While I would recommend buffing this to 8 frames, I think it would be dangerous because you would have a universal fuzzy. I'm pretty sure you would at 8 frames. But yeah, it's solid. Again, in her kit, it's not as amazing as some other characters because it doesn't confirm that well, but it does the job it needs to do. It serves a purpose and it fixes a hole in her kit. So I think it's strong. I think it's really nice to have, and especially if you watch someone like KG play, he uses jump A really well. It's not the best in its class of jump A's. I mean, Yukari exists. Maybe if the axe had hitbox, yeah, maybe. But no, it is sadly just a tiny kick, tiny baby kick. It does what it needs to do, but yeah, I think it could be buffed, but I think it might be dangerous if it was buffed. So I feel justified in saying it's strong, but it's not best in class. Like, best in class is Yukari jump A, which is 6 frames, has a better hurt box. Oh, important point about Labrys jump A, it does not cancel into itself like most other jump A's, despite being tiny baby kick. It's one thing that like most other characters got either out of the box or as a buff. Labrys, for some reason, didn't deserve it. I kind of get why, but then I don't get why they didn't take that away from most other characters. Like, if you're allowing Naoto jump A or Yukari jump A to cancel into itself, surely you would allow Labrys, which is just a worse version of those moves. But anyway, it's okay. I like it. Relative to what Labrys has, I think it's strong. It's not strong relative to the broken characters, but then what is? But yeah, I like the move. And then we come to our favorite move. It's the thing you've all been waiting for. It's jump B. I like jump B. I think I like it more than jump A. I think I like it more than 5A. It's a very good move. So the frame data on it isn't amazing. It's not the best at what it does at anything. So I wouldn't call it a best in class move, but it is a jack of all trades. It does so much that you can kind of throw it out and have it cover a lot of different circumstances. So you can be a bit more aggressive with it than other air normals. You can go over people's heads with it. You can pressure with it. You can sort of just make space with it. You can air turn and still have it hit. It's kind of good at a lot of things, but it's not amazing at a lot of things. For it to be amazing, it would have to be 13 frames, which is the standard for broken air normals. Like your Dachi jump Cs, or your Margaret jump Cs, or your Naoto jump Cs, or Naoto jump C is 12. But yeah, I would like it to be faster, but it isn't faster. It is 15 frames. Has a lot of recovery, but no one really cares about air normals because you're going to be landing anyway. It confirms decently, not amazingly like some other jump Bs in the game. It has a decent backwards hitbox. It's not the best in the game. For example, you have Marie jump B or Narakami jump 2B. In terms of pressure, it has lower than you'd expect in terms of hurt and hits block stop. Block stop's the word I'm looking for. Block stun is the word I'm looking for. So it has 14 frames of block stun, which is lower than I think it should be for a move of that speed. So for example, Kanji jump B, which is 1 frame slower in startup, has 2 frames more block stun at 16. Same for Junpei's jump B, same for all of the jump Cs that I mentioned that were broken. They're all 16 frames of block stun. Being 14 frames of block stun with Labrys' slow 5A basically means that if you hit this too high, and your opponent either instant blocks or has a 5 frame 5A, it is no longer your turn. Which makes it not great for air to ground, which is why I say it's like a jack of all trades rather than being amazing. And yeah, because it's slow, it's not amazing air to air either. It's just kind of good. So like, it's a strong move, no doubt, but it's not the best at anything. There are a lot of moves that outclass it. For example, if you take Ken's jump B, which has more range than Labrys's, because another important point, Labrys jump B extends her hurt box forward quite a bit. So she will often get tagged by things like, get tagged by 2Bs and other air normals. Yeah, Ken jump B just doesn't have that issue. It goes further and it has better things that it can cancel into. Which I'll actually get into now because it is the second half of this move, which is jump BB. Jump BB is awful. It does nothing. It is not a high like most characters' air follow-ups. It is not the same as jump 2B. It is very different. It is very slow, I believe. Oh, it's actually not that slow. It's 13 frames, but the point is you never kind of hit with it. It doesn't confirm well. If you try it, it floats Labrys, and you have a ton of recovery, and you suddenly gain landing recovery. But yeah, it's just a mid that does nothing, except from putting you in a bad position. It combos decently, but I mean, most of Labrys's kit can be used in combo at some point. It's just kind of combo fodder, and I really wish it wasn't a mid. If you could use it as mix, and it didn't float Labrys quite as much, and it didn't cause the landing lag, it would be fine. But no, it just serves no real purpose, and it really leaves her in trouble if you try and go for it, especially on block. So I would consider it a disaster. There are so many things you would need to do to this move to make it even decent and even comparable to what everyone else has. So yeah, jump BB is a disaster. On the other hand though, we have jump 2B. This I think is too slow to be useful to be compared with jump B. Like, it's an okay move. It covers a lot of horizontal ground, only very slightly more than jump B. It converts decently, although if you use it as a starter, you can't use it again in a combo, which you kind of need to do for Labrys. It's okay. It's okay, but I wish it wasn't 18 frames, which is slower than practically every other air normal in the game. I don't know why they had to make it quite that slow. Like, the example, the comparison to make is Labrys's jump 2B, which is the exact same move, except it's 13 frames. It's 5 frames faster, and it's just okay. And she has a puppet. There is no reason for Labrys's jump 2B to be this slow, except yeah, I don't know why, but relative to Labrys's kit, it's usable. And some people use it quite well. It is nice to do it as like a falling move or to cover space. So, and it doesn't have the same landing recovery issue as jump BB, so I'd say it's okay. It's just, I wish it was better. Like maybe even 16 frames. But there's really no reason why it can't be 13. Like, well, I guess the reason it can't be 13 like Labrys is that it might be slightly broken on Labrys, given the damage you could get off of it. Because this is a high. So if you could do this as an instant air dash at 13 frames, that might be kind of broken. But you can't. So there you go. It's an okay move. It works. The next one I am probably slightly conflicted about because it's 5D. The move we all love to hate as Labrys players because it never quite does what you want it to do. It is very good at extending combos and doing damage. That's pretty much all it's good at doing. Combo filler, yeah. It is one of the worst 5Ds in the game outside of being combo filler. It doesn't have any block stun at all. So like even while the arrows are all flying out of Ariadne, you can do stuff in between the arrow hits, which is absolutely absurd. It is one of the slower jump 5Ds in the game. 38 frames for it to even come out, and then it has travel time. And then the multiple arrows have to hit. And even if they do hit, they don't confirm into anything unless you basically have to act like they've already hit for it to confirm. It's pretty awful. Yeah, it has a mind of its own. Like even if you do everything right, sometimes it will just choose to drop. And it's just very sad. So even as combo filler, it's bad. I mean, it's okay in that it also doesn't trigger SMP if you hit with a different arrow. So if you hit with the top arrow first in one use of it, and then hit with the bottom arrow in the second use of it, for some reason it counts as different moves, which is hilarious, and it's good that it does that, otherwise it would be even worse. But you know, watching your game-winning combo drop because you were slightly too close to the corner, yeah. For some reason as well, if you're very close to the corner, it acts differently. I think because it leaves the screen, it's just very sad. So yeah, I do not like it. But you work with what you're given. It does damage. It leads to nice stuff in the corner. So we give it a pass from the disaster tier because, you know, it does something and we use it quite, we do press it. So it is not a disaster like the other buttons which we just don't press. Jump C is interesting. It is one of the worst jump Cs in the game, and yet it's also quite unique. It has so much recovery. So like it's a button that you press to catch someone who's flying around you, but also it has so much recovery, and for some reason it has counter hit recovery. I don't exactly know why. I imagine because it's technically a projectile. That if someone watches you do it and you whiff it, they have time to think about it for half a second, go make themselves a cup of tea, come back, drink that cup of tea, reflect on their life, and then they can run up and jump A you as a counter hit. And that's what happens if you whiff a jump C. So it's kind of sad. It is nice that it covers behind you. It is 13 frames, which is, you know, not terrible for Labrys. It is one of her faster air normals. But yeah, it's not great. Confirm it into air guillotine. So for the most part, yes. Weirdly enough, if you hit the first hit, it doesn't combo into itself at hyperation, which is classic Labrys problems. So at hyperation, you'll hit the first hit of jump C and then the second two will whiff, because of course it does. So it's not even good at doing that, which is why we omit it half the time. But yeah, I mean, it's decent damage if it does work, but if it doesn't work, you just drop the combo and then you're punishable because you just did an air guillotine to someone who isn't there. So it's fine. It works sometimes, but it's just, yeah, there is no reason for it to have counter hit recovery. There is no reason for it to have quite as much recovery as it does, because I mean, it's the frame data on it is absolutely abysmal. Like if your opponent blocks this, they get a free counter hit unless you cancel into something. Yeah, it's just awful. I don't know why they made it quite as bad as they did, but it is bad, unfortunately. Then we get into Jump D. Jump D is an interesting one. I feel like it does something. I'm not sure it does something useful, but it does something, which is what I really want from a Labrys move. It covers space. It doesn't cover space well. For some reason, its head attribute... Oh, also, Jump C is head attribute, so you can just 2B it, even though it's a projectile, even though it's a slow projectile. That doesn't even hit low down. It's the same with Jump D. It's, for some reason, head attribute, so you can just run up and 2B it. It is incredibly slow to come out. It is 33 frames, so most of the time, unlike most air spacing moves, you will just get counter hit for doing this. The persona also comes out behind you, so you're vulnerable. It's just not good. And even if someone does run into it, it's hard to confirm from. If it's a non-counter hit, unless you're already running into them, you're not going to confirm for this. In combos, it's a little bit picky as well, but it does work sometimes. Kiji thinks that it always works, but it definitely doesn't with how much he drops. Yeah, it's not nice, but it's not terrible. It will give you some breathing room sometimes. That about half the characters in the game will just take a card from you if you do that, but some can't. So it does its job. The issue is the thing that you want to do with space is put out an orb or a spike, which you can't do if you just sent out Jump D. So yeah, it does something. I'm not quite sure what, but I do find myself pressing it, which makes me think that it's okay. So I will leave it in the average tier. I'm not entirely sure what I would compare it to. Maybe something like Chie Jump D, where it sort of controls the space for you. Chie's Jump D, of course, is a strike, which makes it slightly better. And actually does stuff in pressure, where Labrys doesn't. So I think I would call Chie Jump D like either average or strong, but Labrys is, yeah, end side of average, maybe bordering on weak. It's okay. It's okay. I will leave it alone for now. I will stop targeting it. And we'll move on to AoA. AoA is interesting. It's like middle of the road in terms of Persona all-out attacks. It does its job, online at the very least. Offline, it's pretty useless. It's just a standard AoA. It's interesting because it's visually deceptive. Of her kit, for some reason, for most people, it's harder to block than a guillotine. And I don't know why, it just is. And it confirms decently in the corner. Everywhere else, it confirms quite badly, relatively. Even in Red Axe. So, where do I put it? I think it's fine. I wouldn't call it a strong move. I think it's perfectly serviceable for an all-out attack. Yeah, average. Nothing much to say about it. It's a very normal move. It does have good reach. The reward is good. The reward is good only if you are very close to the corner. Mid-screen, the reward is bad. But otherwise, yeah, in the corner, it's okay. In the corner, it will get you about 4k-ish, even in green. So it's okay. It's okay. Of course, you are doing AoA, and if it gets blocked... I mean, on block, it's also... So it's minus 18, but a decent amount of pushback. So against some characters, if you hit it on the tip, they will struggle to punish you. Against the broken or good characters, they will punish you anyway. So... depends what context you're taking it in. But yeah, on average, I think it's fine. It does what it needs to do. You can combo into Beast mid-screen. You can, but the combo you get into it is very short. I guess relative to some characters like Yosho, it's not terrible, but I think that's probably more of a show issue. I think most characters get a knockdown into a super, or one of the two from their all-out attacks, if they want to. So I don't think that's special necessarily. And yeah, that's a very short combo into Beast as well. You won't gain much axe level at all, so which is pretty sad. So yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's about average for an AoA, so I will leave it in the average tier. You are biased. I think you're just used to your own character, but I get the point you're making. It can do some damage, but you already have to be in that winning position for that to work. So it's okay. It's average, in my opinion. Which brings us into Air Guillotine. Air Guillotine's interesting. It's very bad as an anti-anti-air. You have to be very high up for it to function as an anti-anti-air, and even if it is, it's one of the worst in the game. Like, A, it's still head attribute, so you can still be 2B'd if you're doing this. B, on whiff, it is absolutely abysmal. C, on hit, on block, it is abysmal unless you're really high up and did SB, because it is actually punishable on block if you didn't start really high up. It doesn't really cover much area at all, which is pretty sad. It's just kind of sad in a lot of ways. It doesn't combo into anything unless you get the ground bounce, which you have to be really high above your opponent and they have to not be blocking. It is only a high from the second hit, so you can't use it to like spook high someone. Yeah, it's just not really good at anything. Like for anti-airs, it's one of the worst in the game for sure. As a mix tool, it's one of the worst for sure because it starts as a mid. The nice thing that you can do with it is cancel it into it from a jump B, and it will pause you in the air, so you you can mess with people's timings and it's visually deceptive. But other than that, it's just really bad. And if that doesn't work, by the way, you have to spend OMC. Like, well, regardless of what happens, you are spending one more cancel. How's it looking? Yeah. I mean, you can see how it looks. Yeah, we're on air guillotine at the moment, and air guillotine is not my favorite move, but yeah. That's where it belongs, in my opinion. It's just kind of one of the worst. It does knock down, which is better than what Labrys has, although Labrys has other ways of knocking down, I think. Although it is slightly weird for her to do it. Yeah, it's okay. I do not like it. In combo, it's fine. It gets people to the ground. It gets you to a super. Well, it gets you to only one super. And even then, doing that super is extremely risky at hyperation because it allows you to cancel into beast before the final hit, which makes it whiff. So you can do it you can do beast cancel too early. Crazy how 2B is considered average. I mean, what's your argument for it being strong? I'd like to hear your opinion. I know you have a slightly slower one, but although it's faster in terms of head invuln, which I think is the main issue for Labrys. But yeah, I'd like to hear what you have to say. And if anyone does have any opinions about the rest of it, do let me know. But yeah, I think I've said what I have to say about egg guillotine. With regards to ground guillotine is interesting. I think it's fine. The main issue with it is the fact that it's 2 hits. Oh, not that it isn't weak. Just used to Labrys' 2B being strong. Oh, I see what you mean. It's interesting that you considered Labrys' 2B being strong. I mean, it has a lot of benefits to it, and especially that you have a puppet to cover for you. If you do happen to whiff it, because I know it's slow, but yeah. Labrys is, yeah, it's slow in terms of head invuln. It doesn't have the same self-coverage. It doesn't confirm quite as well, I think. So yeah, that's probably the reason I'd say they're different. Labrys is slightly faster, but it still isn't fast enough to be good. If you did this for Shab, her Persona buttons would be high top tier. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the issue is that there isn't much to compare with in terms of puppets. Like, I would call her 2C best in class because it pretty much is the only thing that does what it does. Isn't Shab 2B faster than Labrys? No, I don't think so. I think Labrys 2B is 20 frames, right? It's quite slow, but the overhead invuln is faster at 7. Let me open the dust loop and check. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Labrys 2B is actually slower. Let's have a look. Labrys 2B is 20 frames, yeah, which is incredibly slow, but the overhead invuln is from frame 7. Is Labrys 2B jump cancelable on block? Yes, it is, which is probably one of the other benefits that she has. So yeah, the cancel systems between the two characters are very different. But Labrys also doesn't get 5B 2B, or 2B 5B, I imagine. I don't know if you get that. Or 2B sweep also is not a thing that Labrys has, for some reason. Which I believe Labrys does have. But yeah, different moves work quite differently. But yeah, I think Labrys 2B is just fine. It's not amazingly strong or weak either way. Where was I? I was on a guillotine, wasn't I? Well, I was on guillotine by itself. Guillotine is an interesting move. I wish it didn't have that first hit. I understand why it's necessary for our combos, but it makes it so much worse at mix. For some reason, it prorates it so it's worse in combos, unless you only get the one hit. It's an okay overhead. I think it's like 25-ish frames if done without that first hit. If done with the first hit, it's like 30-ish, 32, 33. It's reactable. Although it does allow you to do stuff like the one more cancel into a low, which is 50 meter for an okay mix into a 2A if it works. So It also doesn't block string into itself the first and second hits, which is absolutely absurd. I don't know why they made it like that. You do have to instant block for that to be the case, but most people will, which just makes it risky to do by itself, which is awful for a normal. But there we go. I know some characters have normals that are like that as well, like the Minazuki and the show sweeps and 2Bs. But it's just kind of sad to have that on a special that's so hard to even get to in your pressure. But yeah, it's not amazing. But it's not terrible in the same way. It does do a lot of damage if you manage to hit with it and manage to get it in combo. It's a great combo tool. But yeah, it's just pretty sad in a lot of ways. I do wish it had better frame data. I mean, the B version being +0 is okay. It's kind of sad that Labrys doesn't have any fast normals, but it puts it at a decent range most of the time, which makes it alright. The SB version is an okay combo tool as well. It gets you to red consistently. I do wish the proration wasn't quite as high, but again, I get why it is, because otherwise the damage might be kind of broken. So it's okay. I think it could be buffed, but it is better than it used to be. The A version definitely didn't used to be -2. It used to almost be punishable, I think. But now at least you get to live if you do a 2-on-4A, and they didn't instant block DP you, so it's okay nowadays. It's off my naughty list, I will say. Chain Knuckle by itself is, I mean, this one might be controversial. This is pretty much a disaster, in neutral at the very least. It's very bad. If you get jumped or rolled, you are getting counter hit. I don't know why it has counter hit recovery once it's retracted. If you like that, you know which move is top tier. Spoilers, none of them. But I don't know. I don't think Labrys has. So the way I name the tiers, it's about the sort of class of moves. Best in class. I'm not entirely sure Labrys has anything that's actually best in class. I do have Jump B on here already, which is I put as strong. But which move do you think is best in class? I'm curious. That does better than everything else. I mean, I guess Beast, if you consider D Beast, it is one of the best moves at doing damage. Not Jump B, okay. But yeah, I'll continue ranting about Chain Knuckle in the meantime. So yeah, Chain Knuckle, it just does so poorly in a game where people are pressing Persona buttons, and then it will clash with a Persona move, and then you're kind of stuck, unless you manage to clash cancel. And even if you hit a Persona, you're then just stuck in recovery. If you get jumped, you're now stuck in massive amounts of recovery, and you're going to get hit. If you get rolled, you're going to get hit. And even on block, it doesn't really serve that much of a purpose, but I mean, it's nice if it works. So I don't think the frame data needed to be quite as bad as it did. And it doesn't reach full screen if you do the B version. If someone's at full screen, it doesn't actually stop them from doing what they want to do. Yeah, it's just kind of bad. Especially if you don't have a Persona to keep you safe. So yeah, it's just kind of a disaster. There's a lot of buffs you could do to it to make it better. You could make it go 3 Personas. You could make it faster in terms of either startup or recovery. You can make it winchable on Clash or when hitting a Persona. You can do a few things to it. It's just kind of sad. It is usable. It is her only fatal counter starter outside of moves in Red Axe. But it's not a good fatal counter starter because you need to press A moves to get out of it. To get the opponent off the ground. In the corner, it does lead to a decent amount of damage, mind you. But everywhere else, it's just, we're kind of stringing moves together to even make it work. It's not ideal. So yeah, maybe borderline weak, but I'm going to call it a disaster, just because I have played people who have got good enough that they can just roll this on reaction and they kill you. So yeah, not good. The next move I do have here is the winch dash, and I do have the follow-ups here as well. Winch dash is actually quite good. So if you manage to land the chain knuckle, the winch dash is pretty nice. You have a lot of options from winch dash. You have basically full control over what happens next, which I like. You do want to have control over things. You can go into throws, you can go into specials, you can break into jumps. You have a lot of choice. You can go into the high-low, which is near unreactable, by the way. The low doesn't get you much, but we'll get into those in a second. It's nice. It's a really nice part of her kit. It really adds to the mental aspect of the character. If you are blocking someone who's just landed a chain on you, it is extremely scary. So yeah, winch dash is nice because it leads into the next two things, which is the winch dash high follow-up and the winch dash. So the winch dash high follow-up is this one. The winch dash low follow-up is this one. I realized that winch dash into jump is crazy. I mean, it's decent. You will be minus, but... So the dash itself doesn't cancel into the jump. It is the braking part, but it cancels frame 1 when you start braking, so you may as well consider it a direct cancel. And that's whether you manually brake or automatically brake once you reach your opponent, or when the chain runs out. So yeah, it's nice. It is really nice. So the options you have from chain knuckle are the high, which actually does a lot of damage. It is quite scary. You can't block string into this unless you're far away, but you know, it's nice. It does things, and if they do block it, you just sort of cut your losses and go into a 2-on-4A or a 2-on-4B if you're feeling brave. But yeah, on hits with burst, it is one of your best starters, and it's just a scary immediate high, and you know, I like it. Combined with the fact that you could have done a load of other things, it's nice. It is nice, and especially when people try to start up back grabbing you, when you start doing weird things over their head with the chain knuckle winch dash, this becomes very strong. So I like it. I think it's a strong move. It has awful frame data, mind you, but for what it is, it's good. So I think it's quite strong. The equivalent to this is the low. The low is quite weak. It's a bad starter. You need to spend meter to confirm it. It will get you a hit. I wish you could confirm it into spike, but you can't. It is just the end of the combo. And it is quite bad in terms of frame data, if I remember correctly. I don't do this often enough to even remember what it is in terms of frame data. You'll be back. Okay. I'll await your return, Killer Kitty. So yeah, it's -6, so it's punishable. But you normally don't do this without having meter. But the thing is, most people won't be blocking, because of the scariness of the high, most people won't be blocking this low. And even if they do, they won't have seen it enough to be able to deal with the punish, because it's only -6. So back in the day, when we didn't have the jump cancel and winch dash, and you were actually forced to go into the high or the low, this was bad. But now that we have so many more options, I think it's fine. It is good as part of the kit that you have, which I've actually missed a move off of. So we technically have SB follow-up as well, but nobody ever does it. I think it can be used in very niche combos. I've seen, what's his name? Joke again sometimes uses the SB follow-up of chain in combo. Nobody else uses it because it's a +0 mid that can get you around your opponent, but it's so slow that it's not a left-right. So it's basically not a move. It is so bad. Maybe I should put that move in disaster. But I don't even have it here. That's how much I forgot it. Can it steal corner? I don't believe so. I've never tried it. It's a good question. Even if it did, it would steal it so slowly that it wouldn't actually be a good left-right. But it's an excellent question. I don't know if I'd want to chain knuckle into someone in the corner, but leaving yourself 0 and cornering yourself in a very slow manner I don't think I'd want to do. But I will investigate this at another time. It's a really good point. I don't think I'd spend 25 meter on it, even if it did work. But yeah, it's just kind of so bad that I forgot about it. But maybe I'll add it in later. But yeah, that's the chain knuckle follow-ups. Decent progression, but you have to get into it first, and getting into it's hard. So chain knuckle by itself is actually +1 at its minimum range, I believe. Which isn't, oh, sorry, -1 at its minimum range, which is okay as a pressure reset because you're Labrys with a long 7-frame 5A, but not something you're doing too often. Next move we have is DP. I don't think I need to justify this. It is the slowest DP in the game of its sort, of the I'm going to hit you with a strike. It is a mid, it's terrible on block. It doesn't have any real good super cancels until you're in Awakening. It has really bad coverage, the hitbox is awful. She does step forward, but it means you can actually still go around her quite easily. It's just bad in every way. It slows down if you get hit, it has guard point, so it's easy to cancel off of. Most characters can safe jab it quite easily. You can safe throw it, that's how slow it is. So if you meaty throw Labrys and she does DP, if you're holding back, you will block it. Yeah, that's how bad it is. I don't think I need to say any more. It is the worst disaster ever. Like, Labrys DP I think is either 13 or 15. Let me have a check. 15. It is 15 for Labrys. And it's basically the same move. I mean, Labrys, she takes the full hit stop, but it is faster by so much more that it's usually better anyway. There's and she has a ball to cover for her as well. Yeah, it's just not good. It's also now worse in combo than it used to be. It used to at least have some combo use, and now it doesn't. Just because of how proration has changed. I don't need to say any more than this. I don't know why I'm still talking about it. Let's move on. To one of our first, our first Persona special. One of our 2 Persona specials. Orb. Orb is interesting. I don't think it's a good projectile, but I think we have to use it. It is an incredibly slow moving mid, where the Persona is vulnerable. Like most characters, if you see it happening, you just run up and hit her. Like I haven't developed the mental to do that yet, but some other good characters can, especially if they're faster to move. It just takes so long to do anything. Like even the C version, which is the anti-air version, which is faster, is still slow to even exist. Let me just check the frame data on that. That is SB Orb. I mean, SB Orb is not worth it in my opinion. Like even if it works, you're now on meter cooldown. It's a faster version of D-Orb. So D-Orb takes 91 frames to even exist, to even do anything, if you manage to keep your Persona alive for that long. Which you have to really try to do. It does have some dash cancels, but they're usually not worth doing because they effectively give you more startup than just letting it happen. So yeah, 91 frames for 236D, 46 for 236C, and for the SB version as well. But yeah, they're just very slow moving mids. Especially if you're facing Junpei, the guy with a baseball bat who can hit projectiles. You're basically just giving him very slow baseballs to hit back at you. I mean, it does exist, and in pressure, it can be nice. It does allow you to confirm your throws. It can sort of just appear out of frame, from out of frame, and just hit your opponent by surprise. That's always fun. But yeah, for the amount of time it takes to do anything, and how much you have to do to protect it, especially against the stronger characters, it's not good. It's usable, which is why it's in weak and not a disaster, but it could be so much faster and still not be broken. It is nice that she has something to do. Like, she didn't always have Orb. Her neutral was somehow even worse than it is now, but it's okay. I do not like it. It is slow. And in some matches it's just plain unusable. For example, Liz can just destroy the persona and the orb with a Zeo, and then you're back to square one. There is no point in doing this. Unless you somehow super jump over her Zeos, and even then you might not get a full punish. But yeah, a lot of other characters can just throw a projectile at you and get rid of any bonus that you made for yourself by putting this out, so yeah, it's weak. It could do with a buff, for sure. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about orbs. They're fine, and we do like them. Orbs are our friend, but we do not worship the orb, sadly. Alright, we'll keep going. Spike. Spike's interesting. Spike is a nice Oki tool. In neutral, it can be funny as well. It hits surprisingly far up, especially the SB version. Anyone who knows the matchup knows that if you see SB Spike coming out, you just super jump and then you've undone Labrys spending 25 SP. And most characters are fine being in the air versus Labrys too. So I think it's fine. It does its job in Oki. You can't custom hold it for as long as you want anymore, like you used to be able to, but it's still nice to have that pressure there. It's sad that you have to enforce it by doing your normals, but it's good enough that I think it's okay as an Oki tool. There are more scary things out there for sure. It confirms decently, especially if you manage to get hit into this, either a sweep or a spike into a sweep or an overhead into it. Or just by itself, if you manage to get your opponent to respect you. It being a projectile is pretty sad because it makes it weak to rolls, but what are you going to do? It's okay. It's okay. Not much more to say about that. Labrys ground throw, I think, is pretty normal. On the worst side of average, I think. Maybe I'll put Spike a little bit further up here. I do like Spike a bit more than that. Labrys' throw is fine. It doesn't combo by itself. It only combos on Fatal Counter, which can either be forced with Red Axe, or if you happen to Fatal Counter someone with a throw, which is quite rare. On One More Burst it's fine as well, but that's more of a property of Burst than anything else. It's not doesn't do anything special. It doesn't allow you to do anything even if you're close to the corner, which is pretty sad. Some characters get free combos when close to the corner, Labrys does not. It's okay. It's pretty standard. It being 5 frames is useful for Labrys because it is her only 5-frame move. Which means, I mean, yeah, sometimes we have to use it, so fine. But yeah, that's throw. There's nothing really much to say about that. Yeah, I'd say it's slightly worse in arrow just because of it not comboing in all the situations that it would normally for other characters. Air throw is similar in that it does not combo mid-screen at all, no matter what you do, even if you fatal counter someone. It will combo in the corner depending on how many air options you have left and how close to the corner you are. I think that makes it slightly better than the normal throw. And it does lead to some decent damage as well if you do get put in that situation where you have the air dash available. But it is a standard arc sys air throw. I think it's fine. It is good for, well, it is an arc sys air throw, but everyone has an arc sys air throw in this game, so it's not as if we can call it anything other than average, despite it being decent for an anime air throw. But yeah, this is actually guard cancel. So this is taken from Labrys' original auto combo. It is quite nice actually. Relative to what most other characters have, it hits far behind her. It covers a large area, and it is weirdly hard to punish if you're not on the ground directly in front of her. So I actually like it quite a bit as a guard cancel. I mean, it's still a guard cancel. Guard cancels are still bad, but relative to what everyone else has, I think it's quite a decent one. So I will leave it in strong. Beast. Beast is interesting. It is a very bad reversal because it is guard point. So no. Bad reversal. It's decent in terms of damage. It gives you axe level. It does cover some of the screen as well. I just wish it wasn't guard point. Beast mid. It's also very hard to combo into if you want D-Beast in a longer combo. I don't know why they had to make D-Beast so slow. They really didn't have to do that. It's not as if you're in any danger of it surprising anyone, because it's guard point. And it has a massive super flash as well. It has fatal counter recovery, although only when you're in the air. I don't think it needs to have fatal counter recovery, but it does. It's very punishable. Yeah. It's not good, but I mean, it's the core of her kit, and the D-Beast doing that much damage is important. So I think it's fine. It does its job. And then we move on to Gears. Gears is interesting. Lots of people think Gears is very good. I think Gears is an essential part of Labrys' kit because she has no other true reversals. But if you compare it to other reversal supers in the game, it's pretty average. It does continue to stay out even if Labrys gets hit, which means that you have to do a unique punish. But you should know your unique punishes. Like, that is just something you have to learn for this game. Most characters, if you're going to punish their supers, you have to do something unique. So I think it's pretty average. It is fully punishable on reaction after flash, which is not good by pretty much the entire cast. I think not just pretty much, but the entire cast. It does what it needs to do, and it only really does damage if you're doing it out of corner, doing the side swap combo. And it does decent damage if you do that combo, but yeah, it just doesn't cover much area. It's pretty useless mid-screen. It's instant killable by the entire cast. Well, everyone who has an instant kill. Apologies to show players. Yeah, it's pretty disastrous in most circumstances, but you know, it's a reversal. Very funny. Yeah, I wonder why you find that funny, huh? But yeah, I mean, it does the job as a reversal, but this doesn't do it well. So it's fine. And it will catch a lot of new players out. Hi Piloter, if that is how I pronounce your name. Thank you for the follow recently. Glad to see you. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, Gears. Gears bad move. Move bad. Gears. Gears ouchie. Do not like. That is my summary of the move. But yeah, that's Gears. Oh no. You've come for the best part. It's Brutal Impact. I don't need to say anything about Brutal Impact. It is worthless as a counter super. It's very funny. It's good for a laugh. Thank you for making me be positive. Okay, I will discuss the positives of Brutal Impact. So Brutal Impact, I mean, in some circumstances, it is a true counter to some supers. Mostly supers that can't be... Oh, there's a Labrys reaction. Labrys likes this move, apparently. Thank you, Labrys. Yeah, it can be used to break personas and extend the hurt box with the persona, as I'm sure you might have seen with some of the funny clips. But other than that, I don't know why they even bothered adding the counter hit stuff, because the counter stuff where it triggers when you get hit, because it's still worthless. It still has tons of startup. It is still completely reactable and instant killable, and it's just still a meme. And I don't think Labrys has enough good moves to have a meme in her kit and it be okay. But yeah, it's a disaster. Why Arxis? Why did you do this to us? Is the question, and we will never get an answer. So, disaster. Thank you, Labrys, for joining me in this reaction. But yeah, that is that. I don't think there's much more to say about Brutal Impact. Goodbye, Labrys. See you later. But okay, thanks, Doge. And we come to the final move, which is the instant kill. The instant kill is not a good instant kill. It's not a terrible instant kill. I mean, it's mostly a meme. It doesn't hit crouches. I don't know why it doesn't hit crouches, because that would actually make it average. But it has both travel time and it doesn't hit the recovery of half the moves I need it to hit on. So, yeah. Why? Why? I believe it's a projectile as well. I think Gears is best in class. In the class of reversal supers, no. So a best in class reversal super, I would consider Marie Shell, for example, which is always accessible to her. Basically unpunishable by most of the cast. Easy 1 more cancels. On Flash, there's pretty much nothing you can do. Gears is punishable on Flash. It is fully punishable by most of the cast on Flash. It's instant killable. It doesn't cover both sides. It doesn't cover above her. It just kind of doesn't do everything you want a reversal super to do. It is a reversal on Labrys, which is nice. No way, not wings or Zeodine. Yeah. Yeah, you can instant kill Zeodine. You can instant kill wings, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I think Gears is fine. If you know your punishes, it's usually most characters can deal with it. I know Labrys has issues because the ball continues to appear in the Gears, but most characters can deal with it quite handily. And just it doesn't do the things you want a reversal super to do. It does continue to stay out once it's out, but that's not helpful if your opponent's hitting you and killing you anyway, right? So I don't think it's the best in class for sure. I mean, if you want another similar super, which I think is even better than that, you can think of Yukiko Miragidine, which will still continue to come out even if you hit Yukiko, but it has multiple other good properties. It's much harder to play around Yukiko one because you don't know which one it's going to be either. And half the time the punish you get on it has to be really slow, really short, or really weird, just because you have to get around those flames. But it also has that proper invuln and doesn't have quite as much recovery. So yeah, I don't think it's best in class. I don't think it's even strong. And the other thing to remember is it is very slow as a reversal. The good reversals in this game are 7 frames or faster, because that actually starts beating safe jumps. Have a guess at how fast Gears is. Just have a guess. I mean, you can jump it on reaction, which should tell you something. That tells you the lower bound, that you can super jump out of it after the flash. But have a little bit of a guess at how fast Gears is. I'm going to catch on to this one. In the meantime. Come on, someone be brave. I want to see numbers in the chat. Is it like 30? It's not quite that bad. 27? No, so it isn't that awful. It's 16, which is still double what you would expect from a good reversal super. So for example, Ken has 2 reversal supers, which are 7 frames for some reason, 4 plus 3. So Labrys is 4 plus 12, so the plus 12 is after flash, which means you can jump out of it. You can effectively do whatever you want once it's come out. So it is bad for a reversal super. So I think a decent comparison, Ken needs it, yeah. Of course he does. He's not like one of the most broken puppet characters ever seen. But yeah, so I think a good comparison to Gears is Aegis Spike. Heavenly Spear, I think is the actual name of it. So Heavenly Spear is also 4 plus 3 on C version, but it has less recovery. It can be rolled and punished, but you know, it's actually a fast reversal. But yeah, if you're not doing anything after flash, you can punish. And the punish is aerial though, which isn't as good. So yeah, that's a sort of level I think Gears is on. I think it's fine, but I don't think it's amazing. Doesn't get you out of trouble, will get you instant killed. Yeah, unless your opponent doesn't know their punishes. In which case, yeah, if your opponent doesn't know their punishes, then yeah, it's the best in class. But if they do, Or if they're playing a character that has a good punish, which is most characters, it's just fine. But yeah, low damage as well on hit, unless your back's to the wall, and even then, the damage is a little bit finicky in how it gets done. So yeah, not a good starter, not a good damage super either. Like most SP supers actually do damage. Gears does not, and Gears doesn't confirm from most things as well. What does SB Gears do? It summons lots of gears that go all the way across the screen, so half of your gears will whiff, guaranteed. So you can basically spending 25 meter to watch some gears go along the screen and not hit your opponent. It's very nice. I've never seen anyone actually use SB gears on purpose. Not this side of 2.5, at the very least. People, I think, experimented with it in 1.1, but yeah, it basically has no use. I think there were some very old frenzy routes that use it as well, but again, just not a good use of meter. It basically makes no sense. It's effectively, you can think of it as C and D gears put together, but C happens first and then D. I don't know why you'd want that, but it does it. You get to look at some very pretty effects happen on the screen. Yeah, I don't know why it exists. I don't know why half of Labrys' move exists, but there you go. So yeah, that's the list. Does anyone have any major objections? I'm going to go through and have a think about it. I think, yeah, jump B is fine. I think 5A is fine. I think guard cancel is fine. Jump A, yep, I like that one. Winch dash is very nice. The winch dash high, yep. Gears, I think is fine. Same with beast. This is the winch dash low. It does its job. Same as AOA. This is a third hit of auto combo. I mean, I'll drop that a little bit. 2B is fine. Jump 2B is fine. It's slow, but it's fine. Spike does its job, as does jump D. Guillotines, they do good damage. They are a source of mix, which is rare for Labrys. I'll bump it up a little bit. Air throw is a standard air throw, same with the ground throw. Ground throw is slightly weaker just because it doesn't confirm quite as well as the average. Unless you're in red and get a counter hit. This is a third hit of AoE, it's fine. It does its job. Instant kill does its job. Orb is slow and sad. Same with 5C. Sweep is also very slow and sad in neutral at the very least. It's okay in pressure and in combo. Maybe it being okay in pressure and in combo means I bump it up a bit. There we go. 5B is just kind of bad at what it does. 2A isn't that bad. I'll move it up. 5AA, yeah, is just kind of abysmal. Bad frame data. 5D does its job. Same with jump C. Air guillotine, yeah, is just really bad. Outside of its combo use, and even then it's not good. Chain knuckles a disaster, it's just so awful on whiff. 2C, we don't even know what 2C does. Which was this? Oh, this was jump BB. We don't know what that does either. I don't know why they made it so bad. DP, we all agree, is awful. Brutal impact is at least funny. DP is just sad, so we will make DP last. Alright, that is the end of the list. Congratulations everyone. You made it through me talking for over an hour and 40 minutes. Well, that's how long I've been streaming for. I wasn't talking the entire time, but yeah, that is the list. How do people feel about it? Do people think that this is a fair analysis? Do you think I'm dooming? Do you think this is a good reason why I think that Labrys might not be the strongest character given all of these weak moves that are still essential to her kit? I mean, she does have some strong stuff. Not enough downplay. I mean, I have been a little bit generous about the strong moves here. Like, I don't know if jump 8's actually strong. I just like it. I will admit to some bias about liking some of these moves. I don't think this is actually that amazing of a 5A, but it serves a good place in her kit. But she does damage. So, I mean, that's something I also wanted to say at the start that I forgot to say. Labrys has an axe mechanic, but unlike Junpei, it doesn't actually change how she plays pretty much at all. None of her moves change properties. The only differences really are that you get more damage from the confirm. So the fatal counter you get in Red Axe is an upgrade from counter hits only. It's not like Fear where everything fatals, which fundamentally changes how the game works. So that doesn't actually change anything. If you get a counter hit, you're probably doing good damage anyway. And the corner carry doesn't change all too much. The big change is throw counter hit, but that's quite a rare circumstance anyway, where you actually get a combo anywhere on the screen. And I suppose, yeah, the threat of the immediate D-Beast does change. The way that she's able to do damage quickly that is unburstable from the D-Beast is nice. It's not as high as you'd think if you do it quickly, but it's there, and it's nice. And maybe that makes Beast a decent move. Like, the way it does its damage is good. The higher the meter, the less combos you do. In a way, yes. Your average damage increases so that you will probably need 1 to 2 less hits to kill someone. But I mean, if you were stuck in green, you could still 3-hit kill someone. Probably. Like, that's why I'm not that scared of starting around in grey. Like, if things are going well for you, you will climb the axe level regardless of what you got your initial hit in. Like, you don't play neutral differently. The only difference is, yes, your opponent will have to burst slightly quicker. That's the main difference, but it doesn't affect your actual neutral or what you're doing or your frame data. So a lot of people think that your frame, well, they used to think that your frame data changes based on the axe level. It does not. You do have chip damage as well. That usually doesn't matter that much. You're not able to keep someone in the block string very long as Labrys. So, like, yeah, you might be able to do some chip damage. Half the time this just pushes them into Awakening, and then you get reversaled and they now have more health than they did before. So the chip damage doesn't change anything. The axe level, when you're in red, changes things a little bit. The yellow axe combo basically doesn't change much at all. Anything below that is all meaningless. So I don't think the fact that axe level exists changes the list at all. All it would change is normal throw, and even then, only barely. You don't see counter hit red axe throws very often, and even if you do, the game doesn't tell you you got one for some reason. I wish it did say fatal, but you just have to pray that you didn't watch the axe level go from yellow to red and not notice it, because then you don't get the punish. And then you 2A chain knuckle into nothing and you die, which is very sad. But yeah, Labrys does do damage. I mean, instant kill does kill people, but that doesn't mean it's anything higher than weak, because it is just a bad instant kill relatively. I wish it was better, but it is a cool looking instant kill. I mean, in terms of how cool it is and how our combos sound and look, I think it's pretty up there. But yeah, that's the list. But yeah, unless anyone has any, well, I mean, feel free to continue to comment on the list. Pretty red effects. They are pretty red effects. Although, interestingly, it also makes it very difficult in the Labrys mirrors, because you can't tell which move is yours. Like, you suddenly you've sent orbs out, and you have no idea which one belongs to you, because it doesn't change the color of the orbs. So, it's just sort of out there, and you don't know which one's which, if you're not keeping track. Obviously, you should keep track of your own orbs, but it can become funny when you're like, oh, that's just an orb, I can run through it, and then you can't. But yeah, character is pretty. I like it, but not the strongest. and I don't think is the best at anything, particularly. Lots of decent, okay tools in neutral, but sort of missing a lot of important buttons as well. Missing a nice quick 5C to cover that mid-range. Missing some non-projectile zoning. Missing any decent frame data. Missing the abilities to 2A 5A or 5A 2A. Yeah, missing a lot, but still close to my heart regardless. Anyway, that is the end of that segment. I wonder if I should take a picture and I will click save. Can it? Actually, let's not do that because then... Actually, I think I am okay to do that. Downloaded to where? Where did it download to, friends? Who knows? I will take a screenshot of it and I will put it on the stream. Because I will quickly look for games. If we don't get games in the next 10 minutes or so, I will end the stream. But if we have a nice meme in chat, I will save that as well and put that in the stream. It deserves recognition. Thank you, Labrys. Wow. What does it even do? We don't know. Look at him, amazing. In fact, I wonder what the Labrys reaction to this is. We'll never know. Oh, let's not remove the entire screen. What's up here? Lock it in place. All right, I'm going to ping and see if anyone wants to play. I know there's a tournament happening this evening, but it's pretty late for me, so I probably won't join it. Sadly. All right, server has been pinged. Feel free to ask questions in the meantime, and I will boot up Persona. In fact, we will try and figure out if... is there? It's the Build Up to Frosty tournament is happening this evening. It's not a Switch tournament, I don't believe. I believe it's PC. I will post a link to the chat in a second. Just for you. Am I going to pull for Natsu? Yeah, probably. Is the event already happening? Yeah, it is PC. Here you go. I will post a link in the chat. I'm allowed to because I am a mod in my own stream. But yeah, that's the tournament. If you feel like joining it, it's a little bit late for me, even though I am on leave this week. I don't really want to wreck my sleep schedule. Ah, Natsu's next week. I see. All right. No one seems to want to play for the moment. But yeah, we'll start up Persona, and I will go back to my main screen actually, using my excellent stream transition. Are you ready? Amazing. Okay, we will start up Persona. Stop you. The silence is deafening.
This program is brought to you
Wait,
by
go
the
back.
following sponsors.
Go back to what? Oh, to the Blue Archive music. Fair enough. Sadly not.
Persona.
Ah, we have matches versus Ace Pancakes. Something fluffy was on the screen. Was it? What was on the screen? Oh, the cat. I see. Yes. Do you want to see the cat again? I can do it for you if you like. Wow. And we can do it again. What a wonderful transition. Okay, I am going to put the music back on. In fact, we have exciting new different music because I can do this. Persona is here. Battle music. Meowing into your soul. Excellent. That was the intended behavior. Feel free to redeem your cat jams if you enjoy the music. I do hope you can hear the music. Oh, do let me know if the game's delayed as well. Turn the music down a little bit, and I'll turn Persona up a little bit. Because I did have some trouble with the audio capture being good. Yeah, it's good. Nice. What, the music or the or the delay? Because I did try and test if I had audio delay, and it just sort of didn't work. When I tested it, it was all working fine. So, all right, we have our matches. Sounds good. Nice. Who knows why I had audio delay before? All right.
I will solve this. Here goes. Picture in your head your own appearance.
So yeah, this is the battle mix from Blue Archive. You even have a nice red outline when it does the pulse, because it's in danger.
You're going to round one. Please begin.
That 5A.
Time to move.
Nice.
Time to move. Persona.
You like the battle music from the special event missions? Well, I've taken the music from the OST from numbers 1 to 77. So if it's in there, then it's there. Oh.
Persona.
And the music doesn't just disappear when we end the fight as well. Very nice. How's the balance for you? Music too high? Game too high?
Picture in your head your own
All good? Yeah. Sounds fine. Nice. Nah, jump C. That definitely is a move I would consider. Best in class. Oops. 2C actually did something. Wow. It's amazing. I mean, yeah, 2C does actually do something if you're in the corner. But very rare circumstance. See, did I move it up the tier list? Yeah, I think just for that alone, maybe we do move it up. Did I like somehow duck the long version? Why not burst? Pancakes doesn't burst sometimes. I don't know why. No? Ah. I guess they didn't want to play Mitsuru. Okay. I can't remember who they play. Oh, it is just Naoto. Fine. Maybe they were trying to bait a burst bait? I'm not sure. I like Endless Carnival. Ah. I need to start doing 2B. Fair enough. I hate how that works. Wow, that untech time from that jump C on air hit. Oh, I didn't have any persona. Nice confirm. Alright, we're behind on bursts. We have Fate though. Music fades out just as I win. Apologies if I'm not commentating quite as much. It does take quite a bit to beat a Naoto. You have to be really careful about your movement. Here goes. Takes all of my brain power not to attacking to the DP. My fingers aren't quite ready with a 2B yet. Yeah. Nice confirm. Okay, fair enough. Why did I do that? Could have just let the run end, and I think I would have had trouble punishing it. It's hard to get distance from that one. You need to get behind her. Nice 5-8. The 4-frame rollback. I can't deal with it. I suppose that's the move I would compare to 5C, that 2C. Because it's a good roll bait, but it also a fatal, and it's got really good frame data on the normal 2C. Ah, I should have rolled out. I was trying to super back, but I don't think I think that's actually a block string. Because of course it is. Of course, the full screen bullets with basically no recovery. Block string. I think, well, I guess the final bullet does have recovery on it. What? I did not think that 5D was going to hit. The hero burst, it worked. My roll. Nice. Just about managed to navigate that. Just being under the threat of bullets and all of those traps which you just can't keep track of. Clash God, thank you very much. I will take that title. Not that I really deserve it, but I appreciate that. Thank you as well, Piloter. There we go, proper punish. Really? That reached? Just about. My backdash. DB's is paid by the government, I would believe it. No, it was supposed to be SB chain. I would have won. Lol. I'm pretty sure he could have just done the kick. The music fade as well. It knows. It knows when the games end. But yeah, D-Beast never does quite as much damage as he wanted to. But then again, I wanted to do infinite damage, so... Man, talking for 2 hours straight. Maybe streaming is actually hard. Nah. Alright. I guess we're on 1 HP. Guess we win on 1 HP. Why do I keep jumping over him? I can just kill. Why? Why is that 5 AA low? Oh, that's the problem. Okay, it's no longer a problem. It is now his problem. Okay, 1 second. Luke Sky has just asked me something very exciting. Let's see if I can grab the tier list for him. Let's see. Copy, paste.
Picture in your head your own appearance.
nice. We're getting the punishers.
Okay.
My 2B. Why did it not work? I thought I could get the Kara cancel on that. Oh, hey Gabri, good to see you again. You missed the exciting Labrys move tier list, but we have some exciting matches instead. Hope you're doing well, by the way. I'm doing pretty well. I'm winning.
Let's begin.
I mean, as much as people have misgivings for Blue Archive, the soundtrack is, I don't think, arguable, and it's amazing. Fair enough. That 5A. Nice roll. Nice punish. I'm on meter cooldown. I knew we were gonna jump. I knew we were gonna jump. The route so far, yeah, it is the standard chain knuckle fatal counter combo. It is really cool. Nice roll catch. Oops. Ah. Ah, didn't have the dash. That's a kill as well. I need to be more careful around these traps. Glad to hear you're getting better though, Gabri. Wow. I hate that you slide into all of these. Okay, can't be on 0. No. Ah, 1-0. Connection's looking pretty good. Well, we'll see if we have some time for some matches afterwards. I need to get revenge for this, because I shouldn't have lost that. I should have done some gears. I'm having trouble getting my more precise inputs at this level of rollback, but I do it. I can do it, I believe. That's hilarious. That's a very old route that we used to do. But that was mostly just because I accidentally did 5B instead of 2B. Nice delay tech. And that's the old chain knuckle route. Slightly more reliable when you're close to the corner like that. Ah, I've had a look at your connection information, Gabri. That is indeed very good. That's hilarious. Okay, no. I should have known that was going to happen. Ah.
Nothing seems amiss.
Labbed Aegis and you're about to throw out. Wow.
You don't stand a chance. Round 2. Fight.
Wow, that works after all of that. Amazing. Nice confirm.
Thank you for the match.
But yeah, loving Aegis is probably difficult. Hope your eyes are doing okay.
Hey,
Yeah, sometimes connections can be like that. It is a bit of a pain. Alright, come on, we need to get wins. Hopefully this is close enough, yeah. Gotta love it when you get the 5E backdash. Probably not the safest way to have done that, but it worked. This song's always fun. Reminds me of like Power Rangers from back in the day. Ah. The rollback, I can't tell when it's happening. Okay, we win, just. Not even close. Yeah, not even close, baby. As the great donkey says. How many bullets does he get on that? I thought he shot all of his bullets, but he had one in the chamber. It is 5, so he just shot 4 and then kept one behind, I guess. I swear he shot more than that. It is 5, okay. So it's a 5 shot. Fine. Signal of Abydos, my favorite. Ten Fate, yeah. That's true. I thought that was just to do with the distance of like getting to you and you can actually combo from, but yeah, I guess that does make sense as well. Yeah, 10 Freight from the SB version and 6 from the normal version. Alright, come on, let's do it. Okay, I need to remember, keep them low. That's too high, I think. Nah, that's fine. I should have done one more cancel 5A. You get more axe level from that. That jump A is so good. Ah, I was hoping for a DP. It is one of the DPs that you can do that on. Okay, I'm in trouble. That's death, I think. Yeah, low health character. Not the only one who can instant kill people. I probably shouldn't be messing around in matches versus someone who was actually able to kill me that easily. But sometimes you could have some fun. And you can't really brutal impact in this matchup. Ah, the throw, nice. That's smart. Oh. My frames aren't dropping, so I don't think it's me. Okay. Nice. Just managed to get around the bullets there. Oh, the orb's gonna get in the way. Okay, no it isn't. That's so plus. I don't think he dies from this. No. No? Okay. Good hold, I guess. I really should have done a throw. That would have done enough damage in the single hit. I need to remember to do that.
Round 1.
2C. It's magical. It does something. Oops. My fingers are starting to cramp. I need to be more careful. Let's do some stretches. Okay. Oh, did not expect that to hit. Oh dear. Yep, good. Just about. The one time that the chip damage actually helps is in those situations. It gives you an out with a throw sometimes.
Please select your character.
Time for some education.
Picture in your head your own appearance as well.
Round one. Please begin.
Nice. Got the full confirm from that one.
What is there to say?
That's quite a tight combo.
Round two. Please begin.
I was trying to hop over and I messed it up. No. Just about. Imagine if Labrys always had a reversal. That would be insane.
Please select your character.
I dislike.
Round one.
I thought I was over that.
You're in trouble now.
That 2C double gears, yeah. Oops. Why do I keep jumping over? Something about it, it just makes me jump over. But yeah, if gears doesn't work, just use gears. Nice throw. I could have done the instant kill. I had time. And that's the power of the chain knuckle overhead right there. Such a good starter. Does so much damage. If you get it wrong, you just die. So quickly too.
Please select your character.
I will solve it. Round one. Go. Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Okay, keep them low. Should be fine. Oops. Of course. All 10. Wow. I love Naoto. Very cool. Should be able to shoot me again. Lost my burst, but good enough. Still have the round. I should be jumping those. Almost. Almost scared I did the wrong one there, but just about enough. If D-Beast wasn't so slow, you could use either, but they're so far from you that I use C-Beast there normally.
Picture in your head your own appearance as well as your alter ego, your persona.
All right. Do some stretches, lean back on my chair, posture check, hydration check. I really need to have my guide open. I almost forgot about all the weird things about Naoto. Viewbot, kill him.
There's no escape for you.
I don't need viewbots. Go away.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, full damage. Stop tacking towards me, friend. So much damage. Nice, the roll catch. Alright. Ah, nice, the V-bots got killed by the Twitch auto mod system. Why would you buy viewers? I don't understand. Like, you don't have to have viewers to be a streamer. Like, I'm not looking. I value everyone who is here, and it's great to have you here. But if they're not here for you, then why bother? It's not real numbers. Slime out everyone? What? What are you talking about, Liam? Hello, by the way. Welcome. Nice. one time. Nice confirm. I know that's the proper 2B confirm for Naoto. Oh, well played. Well played.
Okay.
It should be a kill. Yeah, it's gonna double. Okay. I guess he didn't feel like blocking. Skill? Yeah. Ah, didn't get it. No. How did you find the emotes that I put on? You knew that I had 8 no way on Better Twitch TV, but yeah, I agree with that reaction. I have no idea how that worked either. Wow, that worked. I was trying to jump over that. Hmm. Nice. I would have liked to have killed off the combo, but we take the win. I win. I like winning. Do you like winning, chat members? For some reason, holding back while doing Labrys auto combo doesn't stop the super. Oh, is it supposed to? Nice. Oops. Okay, I'm being outplayed. Nice, confirm. Ah, yes, the classic lab DP. Ah. Too slow, should have used jump A. That's too high. Ah, my 2B. Lol. That was pretty safe to DP there, and like worst case scenario I would have another 2 or 3 hits to live. You just tried, it's Sony show exclusive. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I think it's just because that's a way to make sure that all of the Wrecker hits come out. Because your auto combo... Because like you should be able to mash A to just do the... Actually, no, that's for Minazuki. What does your auto? What does the super you do in your auto combo? I don't even remember seeing it. What even works for show? Oh no, we have Shadow. It is Barrage. Wow. Nice, 2-8. I just can't imagine how that combo looks for some reason. Didn't want the round, fair enough. Nice combo. Okay, it's Minazuki also. Interesting. Oh no. That's why I don't do D-Beast. It sucks. I'm now on 1 HP. But that's interesting. It's for both Mina and Show. I imagine, like I think I said, it's probably something to do with how the Wrecker works. Oh, that's GG's. Okay. Good games. I am happy to end there unless you are around, Gabri, and you want some more. You want revenge for yesterday. Then I can stick around for a little longer. Gabri, are you out there? If he's not, I'm happy to call that a stream. I'm pretty happy with how that went. Let's have a look at the history. We lost 1, 2, 3. That's not too bad. Oh yeah, we also wanted to see if this thing could corner steal, didn't we? Do a little bit of labbing before we finish. Unless Gabri appears.
Picture in your head your own appearance as well as I wish you good luck.
Alright, let's put him in the corner. GG's, Pancakes. Ace to Pancakes. There are many Pancakes. Yeah, well played. You had some really nice stuff there. Good stuff with the DP into backdash. That's a good punish to have. But yeah, you played really well. Good job. I wish you had a slightly better connection, but that's life. UK to wherever you are. But yeah, it was fun. I like playing against a normal Naoto as well. It's still scary, but less two-hitting. But yeah, you played really well. I liked what you were doing with the traps. You were putting them down well and then standing in front of them so I couldn't just sort of chain through. Yeah, it was fun. Let's play some more sometime. What was I going to do? I was going to make the dummy block everything. And I wanted to go through. No, you cannot corner steal. No, you very much cannot corner steal. Cool. Alright, well, as is always the case with Labrys, if you ask the question, can you do it? The answer is no, you cannot. But there we go. But yeah, I think it looks like Gabri's disappeared. Maybe I'll get them and play them some other time. But anyway, thank you very much everyone for coming. I hope you enjoyed the tier list bit and the set as well. It was a good set. And hopefully I said something interesting during the Labrys move tier list bit. But other than that, I hope you're all going to have a good evening and or afternoon, depending where you are. Do watch the tournament if you happens to be the right time zone for you. It's always good to have people supporting these things, and best of luck to everyone who's going to take part in it. I think I will probably abstain because it's just not my time, but I will be, hopefully, in the PFC tournament later this month. I think maybe at the end of this week, because that is in my time zone. And yeah, catch you all around. Hope you all have a good one. I'll catch you later. Goodbye.